Donald Trump, when he was in office, took $7.8 million in foreign money when he was president and before. Does that give you pause or bother you at all?
No, because at this point he's a businessman. So he legitimately has businesses that he's running, and he could have been doing that from business to business. That's no different than what I do for my career. If a foreign person comes in and wants to buy a property, and they buy a property with foreign money.
You're not subject to the emoluments clause of the Constitution.
Right, but I'm saying is that he still runs a business. He's still a business owner.
But if $5.5 million of that was from China, and he's the president of the United States, should he not have divested?
You know, with what has happened with the Biden family, I would think that all eyes are going to be on anything and everything that happens now.
The way that Trump supporters have been conditioned to accept and even celebrate his actions that completely violate what they previously thought were their deeply held and principled beliefs, it's mind-boggling. He can violate the emoluments clause because he's a businessman. But Joe Biden is as guilty as sin over his son's business dealings when he wasn't even president. And the evidence doesn't exist. Principled beliefs on full display.
It was reported that Donald Trump took $7.8 million from foreign governments when he was president and before. Does that bother you at all?
For as far as I hear what he's done, normally he has a reason, but I don't know about that, I guess.
Well, honestly, I don't believe that. I don't believe those numbers because when Trump was in office, he wasn't accepting his paycheck per se that he would receive. That was going back into the country. So I don't believe he would be taking that much money from other countries if he's willing to give up the money that he would be receiving.
Facts, documentation, reputable sources, none of it means anything when their leader tells them it doesn't. There's a deadly combination of a lack of information coupled with a lack of interest in ever learning the truth that drives these folks. They've attached their entire identity to protecting Donald Trump at all costs. So if they admit that he's not infallible or, God forbid, a corrupt con man, it means that their existence is meaningless. I do want to give Michael Schur some credit here for making this last woman rage quit the interview when the facts didn't match up with the propaganda that she's been fed.
They're digging for things. I mean, why isn't Biden indicted?
Well, his son was.
Well, yeah, but he should be too. So
For what?
for his dealings with China and other places. I mean,
Yesterday it was reported in the Wall Street Journal that Donald Trump took $5.5 million from China when he, when he was in presidency and the Wall Street Journal
places, half of the places that report that stuff are just making crap up.
Well, it's hard to, when you have sources and you have evidence, it's hard to say that because it's like FOIA stuff and they get the information. It was $7.8 million total from foreign governments while he was president, before he was president. None of it necessarily nefarious. It wasn't like it was under the table or anything, but it would have been a violation of the emoluments clause of the Constitution. Does that...
Biden hasn't taken any money from other places?
Not that I've seen, and
Oh,
perhaps...
for Pete's sake.
Well, no, perhaps he did. I don't know.